The girl had just been buried that day, but that night, she climbed out of her own tombstone. Looking at the portrait photo lying on the ground, she couldn't believe she was dead. It wasn't until she saw the rigor mortis spots on her hands that she finally accepted the fact of her death. She rushed to the bathroom to wash off the rigor mortis spots, but to her surprise, the spots didn't wash off when they came into contact with water. Instead, they spread rapidly outward. To avoid scaring others, Anne had no choice but to return to her parents' home to find a solution. At that moment, her mother opened the door and saw her daughter, who had been buried that day, return home. Her mother couldn't believe her eyes. To prevent her parents from treating her like a monster, Anne quickly grabbed her clothes and ran out the door. But then her stomach suddenly growled. As she approached the entrance of a bar, a bold idea popped into her head. Because the bar was dimly lit, no one would notice the changes in her body. In order to fill her stomach, she pretended to be a woman who had come here alone. Soon, a stranger approached her. Looking at the man in front of her, Anne felt no fear at all. Instead, she saw him as a piece of meat delivered right to her mouth. The two went to a remote suburb. This quiet environment gave Anne the opportunity to act. Taking advantage of his distraction, Anne bit into his carotid artery. The bitten man tried to escape, but it was already too late. After Anne had her fill, the spots on her body mysteriously returned to normal. This made her realize that to become a normal person, she could only eat in this way. But she didn't know that a mysterious man had already set his sights on her. Anne went home and changed into clean clothes. However, just then, the doorbell rang. It turned out to be the nanny returning home with her father. Anne quickly hid. Upon seeing their intimate behavior, Anne immediately realized their relationship was not ordinary. At that moment, a sense of hunger surged through her mind again. To satisfy her hunger, the nanny became Anne's next target.